Hey guys, welcome back to Grinding Gears, episode 10 of Project Streetsweeper. Today is the wiring. So we've pretty much, I've already sort of test fitted where everything's going to go. So on this side, we're going to make a plate so we can set like the regulator rectifier, the ECU, the man down switch or the bike down switch, something else that I don't know what it is. We've got to mount the coil up front, and then the easiest way we're going to do it is, all we've got to do is, this is our kill switch. We've got to lengthen these two wires and our coil wire, and everything else can stay the same length. So we're just going to get into it, build a board for these units to sit on and lengthen those wires. So we just went back to the trusty CAD design, cardboard aided design that we've used in all our other template making. It's just the easiest, cheapest way, and you can get it right. If you ruin it, you can just start again. You're not wasting any material that costs a fortune. So I just marked out there for the bracket because it had to bend over, because there was two factory bolt holes on top, two little M6 bolt holes on top. So we just had to cut that up, and it already had a factory bend in that box. So I just marked out those two holes straight off that. So then we just mocked up where our components were going to sit. So we've got the ECU, rectifier, regulator, and something else, I don't know what that is. Just mocked them up, marked out the holes. So we just test fitted the bolts so we know we get our holes right. And then we had another little factory hole on the down tube of the frame there that we just had to make like a little Z-shaped bracket sort of thing. So it fitted straight into that. So it gave it 3 points of contact to hold that plate properly. So after we finished the template and did a little mock-up, we just transferred it over onto our material, which is just some 1.6 mm steel plate. So we just traced out the template on there. It's super simple. And we've got our trusty grinder with our little 1mm cut off blade on it, multi-metal blade. They're really good. They're super cheap, and those ones, I can't remember what brand they are, but they seem to last super well. They cut through that stuff like butter. So we just took it over to the drill press because we center popped our holes there. Threw it in the drill press, drilled some holes so we can get our 6mm bolt through. And then we gave it a bend up just so we could get that little Z section. And luckily enough, we got it spot on first time. I think it's the first time in the whole project that I've done that. So I was pretty happy with that. And it bends super easy. That stuff, it's really light, so you don't have to put much weight on it to bend it, but it's super sturdy. And because of the jaws of the vise weren't big enough, we just had to do it a couple of times there. But yeah, as I said, we got it first go. All holes lined up, didn't have to make them bigger or anything, so I must be getting better. All we had to do here at the end, at the top there, I just had to take off probably 1mm, just threw it on the leaner shed, rounded off all the corners, and took that 1mm off that back edge, so our everything lined up. So then we just had to clearance or contour it a little bit, so just use a little bit of timber there and gave it a tiny little bash with a hammer, so it just contoured it a little bit so our factory side plate would sit on there perfectly, and it took no time, so that was really good. And then with this regulator rectifier, we had to, they usually sit on a little mount that like it's a little right angle that sits out, and it, because they got the factory rubber on there, so they just sit out and you like put the factory rubber on it. So I wasn't really sure how I was going to do this. Took a little bit of thinking, but I drilled some holes in the top there. I didn't really need to do that, but you know, we got it done. So we just threw it on there, cut it off again with the cut-off wheel, and just tried to make that little like mimic the factory mount that would have been on. We just had to knock that down a little bit and then make it go the other way as well. And there she is, she sits on there, it sits on there really good, I'm really happy with it. So when we got to the wiring, we just had, that was our kill switch, we just had to split those two wires, and we got those little, they're just little heat shrink connectors from J-Car. They come in packs of 5, I don't know why they do that, it's so stupid. Like, so you buy 2 packs, I guess. Because, you know, how often do you join one wire and not 2? So we just cut that off, gave it a strip. I'm absolutely no electrician, but you know, I'll wire in a couple of CD players in the day in the old charger and the H and stuff like that. So that's where that came in, you know. Once we melted all them down, we just test fitted the length to make sure we had the length right. And then we threw over some brand new heat shrink. Just shrunk that down with a heat gun just to protect that wiring. So we got that all connected back up, and you can see we've still got a syringe hanging out of our fuel pump there, and a bit. So then we went on to our coil. So we had to lengthen the coil there, and that's just a one wire on the coil. So the other one's just an earth up the other end, but that's your power wire for your coil. So we just had to cut that one off and do the same procedure pretty much. So I wasn't really sure how I was going to mount this because it's like round and like we had to make a standoff, or like whether I was going to weld a bracket on there. I didn't know what to do, so I didn't know if I could mount it. I was trying to use the factory holes, but nothing was sort of working, and it would have made the spark plug wire weird. So the easiest way was just to put another little hole in there so we can get another M6 through it. That drill bit was about as blunt as, I don't know what's blunt.
You called me blunt. You said it was as blunt as me.
Probably as blunt as Jack. I thought it was pretty cool. I ended up we were trying to find like a spacer or something to put in there, and we ended up using it was the old foot peg mount from underneath, so that had like a spacer that was the right size on it. So we just cut that in half and put the bolt straight through that, and it worked really well. So then we've earthed it. Just tidied up some wires there with a few zip ties. Alright guys, so as we said, not electricians, but pretty happy with the way this came out. Didn't have to weld anything on, so that's even better, but made this little bracket just to hold the main components, the ECU and reg rectifier, and we just zip tied the bike over switch in there, and it fits just snug in the frame there. We've had to lengthen, as you saw, the kill switch and also the coil, so we hope that works. Fingers crossed. We'll find out if that works in the future, but got it all zip tied in place. Pretty happy with how it came out. The reason we've had to go to wiring is because I bought some foot pegs off Marketplace, and this dickhead, I've been waiting on him for 2 weeks now, and messaged him a couple of times, didn't get back to me. Then messaged him again today and asked where they were, and he said, yeah, I sent them on Monday. We're Thursday now, so like that's why we're so late. Like Jack's gonna have to sit up all night and edit this. And said that he sent them on Monday or Tuesday, and I said, what, last week when I bought them? But it was no, this week. So, and the way Australia Post is at the moment, there's no other words for it, it's a fucking joke. Because like Cliff Young rang from Sydney to Melbourne in 4 days, and these clowns can't even get, like, in a truck and a plane, can't get stuff from Melbourne or Sydney or anywhere in a week. Like, it's 9 days now, like, for anything standard. We've also been waiting on the petcock from America. Ordered that on the 4th of August. What's today, the 27th? So, you know, we're way down the track now, and I got the notification today that it's in the country, it's in Sydney. So I don't know why they shipped it to Sydney and not Brisbane, but, you know, so Sydney to Brisbane, I don't know, might give old Cliffy a ring and see if he can run it up here in a few days. That's about it. I think, yeah, we're waiting on foot pegs. So we're foot pegs, exhaust, seat. Oh, we also got this rad ARC clutch lever off Johnny, my brother-in-law. Thanks again, helped us out. He's also the donator of the motor. So we tried the clutch the other day. We didn't even know if it had a clutch in it because it was not engaging properly. So I had to whip the side cover off and had a clutch in it, so that was a bonus. So I just pulled all the clutch out and like it was stuck together because it's been sitting for at least 3 years that I know of. So we pulled the clutch out of it, pulled it all apart, threw it back together, done some adjustment on the new cable, put the new lever on it, and it came up mint. It's like butter. It's so good. I was thinking about putting a Majera hydraulic clutch on it like the KTM's have, but I don't think it's going to need it. That's super light, that one. So other than that, we got, yeah, so once I get the foot pegs, then I can locate this rear brake, so that's going to sit there somehow. But I can't do that until Stupid sends me his foot peg, so we'll just wait for that one. But other than that, we just got to knock these parts off the frame, a few other little brackets that have got to come off, then we'll get the chain on it. And then like that's the body wiring, so this is the engine wiring loom. Then we've got to do another separate one for the lights, so lights, horn, indicators, and we'll go into that at another time. But that's all for now, and we'll catch you on the next one.